Flight attendants Jenny and Paula are getting ready for their next trip. Captain Faris and his co-pilot will chat with them. And they know they won't have many passengers tonight because of the thunderstorms. Wilsey also takes some medicine because he isn't feeling well. Then the attendants meet tonight's passengers. George is a teenager who always flies alone, and he doesn't like to be smothered. Bev has come with her husband, Dr. Kingston, whose Parkinson's doesn't allow him to move or speak. Army medic Shyla is nervous about flying, while Louise is relaxing with her chat. Niall and Susan are expecting a baby, and they are quite germaphobic, so they clean their seats before sitting, while Faris and Nika are excited. Foreigners who don't speak very good English. Henry has brought a cage of hamsters, and when Ralph tries to help him put it in the storing bin, he gets bitten in the process. The cage won't fit, so the flight attendants force Henry to send it to the cargo hold. Businessman Preston keeps sneezing, apparently sick with the same thing Wilsey has. As the plane finally takes off, Jenny has to remind Niall to hang up his phone, and when he refuses, Henry forces him to. Both men get angry and argue, so Jenny sends them back to their seats by reminding they could be arrested when they land if they don't behave afterward. Henry flirts with Jenny, telling her about his beheading, and he may comment about the sorry state of society's manners. Moments later, Henry is watching the news, and he learns that the Center for Disease Control, or CDC, has surrounded an apartment building in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Ralph isn't feeling well and he asks for water while staring at the wound on his thumb. Jenny notices he's sitting in a weird position, and when she checks on him, he suddenly pukes all over her. His mouth is foaming as he demands to get off, so the flight attendants try their best to take care of him. Nobody notices the chat sneaking around and eating some puke off the floor. Jenny leaves the guy with Paula, and he goes to clean all the puke off her body, but at that moment, Ralph runs down the corridor and he pushes her down. He starts pounding on the cockpit door, asking for the plane to stop. So Wilsey follows protocol and he locks the door, while Forrest warns ground control of the situation. Henry tries to stop Ralph, but he's easily overpowered, and the same happens to George. Then Preston, George, Paula and Shyla team up with Henry to hold Ralph, and they eventually knock him out. Using plastic restraints, they tie up his wrists. Afterward, Shyla checks nobody was injured, while Jenny freaks out in private, telling Paula how she felt to be useful in an emergency. At that moment, Forrest announces he's been given orders to land, and he sends everyone to their seats. The plane shakes a lot as it goes down, and the attendants teach everyone to keep their heads down. Ralph's body keeps sliding and bumping his head, so Jenny and Paula have to make an effort to move him to a seat. While Paul struggles with the seatbelt, Ralph wakes up with red eyes and he bites her nose, severely injuring her. Then Ralph goes crazy, and once again the passengers have to team up to push him into the bathroom, locking him up as the plane finally lands. Shyla uses the emergency first aid kit to give Paul some medicine that will prevent her from going into shock, and he ties a scarf around her face, but she's losing a lot of blood and he needs immediate medical attention. Forrest is frustrated because ground control tells them to wait, even though they know about the emergency, and he decides to break the rules by choosing an unassigned gate. Thankfully, baggage handler sees the plane coming, and he opens the gate just in time. Forrest and Wilsey hold the plane's bathroom door shut, while everyone else desperately leaves the plane, except for Bev and Kingston because they need help moving. It guides the group to the other end of the gate, but the door is locked, and nobody answers his request on the radio. They have no more choice but to follow it through an employee entrance to enter the staging area of the airport. The group takes the stairs, and it reaches the other doors. However, he's shocked to discover they're all locked, which never happens when he checks the power box. He confirms they're under lockdown, and everything will be seen on the security cameras, which are still active. An argument on what to do ensues, but it's interrupted by the sudden sound of sirens. They look through a window and notice ambulances and police cars outside, only for the window to be covered. A voice announces that the group has been quarantined, and they have to wait until help comes. The passengers call their families to tell them what's happening, before teaming up to yell at Jenny. Seeing her as the representation of the airline's decisions, Jenny doesn't know how to defend herself. But thankfully, Shyla interrupts the yelling to point out she has a medical kit in her luggage that could help Paula survive a few more hours. Jenny takes it and a few passengers with her to look for Sheila's luggage, but at that moment the power goes out. It guides them with Riz flashlight, and when they return to the plane, they discover Wilsey and Forrest are gone. Jenny opens the bathroom. Andy is horrified to see blood everywhere. Preston moves to get his laptop. Andy bumps into Kingston, who is sitting alone. His wife is gone. Andy, when the others wondered what happened, Kingston uses his eyes to point at a pair of plastic cuffs on the floor that have been chewed through. Meanwhile, it cuts the carpet on the floor to reach a hatch that takes them directly to the baggage hold. Jenny reaches for Sheila's medical kit, while Niall grabs a gun from his suitcase. It freaks out when a rodent walks by his feet. Andy scares it away while saying it was Ara, but Henry thinks it was just one of his hamsters because he's found the broken cage. As Jenny climbs out of the hold, she looks around. Andy notices Preston's laptop covered with blood at the end.